Hello. I know I'm not so shrewd, so perceptive, but this stage manager, prompter, director, cremis outdoes me. Any name you want that fits a fool applies to me. Jackass, leadhead, blockhead, dead log. But there's no name for him. His density outdoes them all. Oh, do desist from deafening the gods, dear wife, by thanking them because your daughter has been discovered. Unless, of course, you judge them by your own standards and think that they don't understand a thing until it's said 100 times over. I wonder now, why my son's been in there so long with Cyrus? Who are those men you say are lingering inside there, Cremis? Oh, Menedemus, you're here. Tell me, did you tell Clinia what I told you? Yes, oh. What did he say? He started acting happy like people who want to marry. Ho ho, that's a good one. What makes you laugh? I was thinking of my slave, the so resourceful Cyrus. Why, think of him. He even shapes the looks on men's faces, the fiend. You mean my son was just pretending to be happy? Quite so. The same idea occurred to me. He's an old hand. You'd think so all the more if you knew more about it. Is that so? Would you like to hear the rest? Wait. First, I want to know how much you lost. For when you told your son the girl was his Dromo, of course, dropped hints about the need for clothes, jewels, and servants for the bride. So you'd give them the money. No. What? No. Yes, no. Your son didn't. No, not at all. Cremis, he only pressed me more for one thing, to celebrate the wedding rites today. You tell a strange story, and my Cyrus, he did something? Nothing. I can't see why. That's strange. When you see all the other things so clearly, but then it's that same Cyrus who shaped your son's behavior so shrewdly, as to leave not the slightest doubt that she was Clinia's mistress. What's going on? I won't mention the kissing and hugging, that doesn't count. What more could their pretense call for? Oh, really? What else? Oh, really? Just listen. There's a room way at the back inside the house. A bed was put in there and made up. Then what happened after that? No sooner said than done. Your Clitifer went right in there. Alone? Yes, quite alone. I'm worried now. And right away Bacchus followed him there. Alone? Yes, all alone. I'm done in now. When they were in the room, they shut the door. Did your Clinius see this going on? How could he not see it? He was right there with me. So Bacchus is my son's mistress. I'm ruined, Menedemus. How so? I've hardly cash for 10 more days. Not worried, are you, just because your son does a favor for his friend? For his girlfriend. If he does favor her. Can you doubt it? You don't think any man so easygoing and docile as to let his own mistress before his eyes? Why not? That's how they might put one over on me more easily. You're justified in making fun of me. I'm vexed at myself. So many things gave hints I could have understood completely had I not been a blockhead. What I saw, I'm really in a mess. But believe me, they won't get away with it unpunished. While I'm alive right now, I'm going to control yourself. Don't lose your self-respect. Am I not enough of a lesson to you? For anger, Menedemus, I'm not myself. For you to talk like that, isn't it shameful to give others advice, be wise in public, and yet not be able to help yourself? What shall I do? What you told me I did too little of. Let your son realize that you're his father. Let him have the courage to trust you every way, to ask for things, to seek your help, and not go looking out for some other support and desert you. Oh, no. I'd rather he went anywhere in the world than by self-indulgence here drive his father to need. If I keep on paying his costly bills, Menedemus, my resources will soon reach the level of garden rakes. But then you'll just create more trouble for yourself if you're not careful. You'll show how strict you are, but later on you'll still forgive him and get no thanks for it. You don't know how upset I am. Oh, well, have it your way. But what about my wish to have your daughter married to my son? Oh, or do you have some other preference? Oh, no. The son-in-law and the connection appeal to me. What dowry shall I tell my son you offered? Why are you so still? Dowry? That's what I said. Oh, Cremis, don't worry if it's less than usual. The dowry doesn't bother me at all. I thought 2 talents might do well enough, in view of my income. But if you want to safeguard me, my money, and my son, you'll have to say that I've made over all my property to set up that dowry. What are you up to there? Pretend that you are taken by surprise. Ask Clitopho the reason I do it. In fact, I can't see the reason you should do such a thing. Why do it? To make a dent in his mind that's flowed over into extravagance and self-indulgence. Bring him to the point where he no longer knows which way to turn. What's on your mind? Leave me with it. Let me behave the way I want in this affair. I won't press you. You do what you do want it this way. I do. It will be done. Now have your son prepare to have his bride summoned to me. My Clitopho will get his dressing down in words as suits children, but as I live, I'll dress up that Cyrus with blows, not clothes, and hand him over so well combed and groomed. He'll remember me all his life. He thinks I'm someone to laugh at, to have fun with. He wouldn't dare do what he's done to me, to a defenseless woman, so help me God. Can it be really so, Menedemus? In so short a time has he rid himself of all his natural feelings as a father. For what misdeed, what horrible offense have I committed to my sorrow? Young men normally act the way I did. I'm aware of how this hurts much more, is much harsher to the person it lands on, but I, too, take it as hard. I cannot understand how it can be. I don't grasp the reason. I only wish you well with all my heart. You said my father was waiting out there, and here he comes. Why blame me, Clitopho? I took this action with a view to you and your short-sightedness, for when I saw how wrapped up in the pleasure of the present you were, with no thought for the length of time in store, I formed a plan so you would not be left in need, and yet could not waste all I have, this property. Then, when your conduct made it wrong for me to hand it over on to you, who were entitled to first claim on it, I chose your nearest relative and made it all over to him to be his trust. There'll always be protection, Clitopho, for your folly with him, food and shelter, a roof over your head. I'm out of luck. This is much better than with you as heir for Bacchus to possess my property. Well, I'm completely out of luck, stupid. It's criminal the way I've messed it up for everyone without intending to. I might as well be dead. You might as well learn first what living means when you know that if life still leaves you cold, try the other. Master, may I? Speak up, but in safety. Speak up. What sort of craziness is this? It makes no sense to take it out on him when all the fault is mine. The meeting's over. No one's accusing you, Cyrus. Don't you get mixed up in it. You won't need an altar as a refuge or some kind intercessor to speak for you. But what are you up to? I'm not angry either at you or you. and it's not right for you to be angry at me for what I do. He's gone away, and I wanted to ask him what, where to look for food. He's cut us off so completely. I know there's some for you at your sister's. It's come to such a pass, then Cyrus has it, that I'm even in danger of starving. As long as we're alive, there's still some hope. Of what? Of being hungry, both of us. You laugh in this crisis and don't help me one bit with your advice. No, I was thinking about it while your father was talking, and I'm thinking right now so far as I can work it out. What out? A plan. It's not far off. What is it then? Just this. You're not their son at all. That's what I think. How's that, Cyrus? Are you in your right mind? I'll tell you what's come to my mind, and you decide that for yourself. So long as they had only you and no other pleasure to bring them more delight, they fawned on you. They gave you everything. Now a daughter has been discovered, and a good excuse, in fact, for them to disinherit you. That is quite probable. You don't think he's angry at you because you misbehaved? I don't think so. And look at something else. Our mothers normally take the son's side to help him in trouble and lend support against the father's strictness. That's not so for you. You speak the truth. What shall I do then, Cyrus? Raise this question with your parents. Bring it up openly. If it's not true, you'll soon evoke the sympathy of both, or know whose son you are. That's good advice. I'll take it. I'm lucky this came to my mind. The more he finds his suspicions groundless, the easier will he make peace with his father on his own terms. He just might take a wife. I can't tell yet. No thanks to Cyrus, though. But what's this? Cremis coming out again. I'm taking off for what I've done so far. It's strange he hasn't ordered me hauled off. I'll take refuge in Metadema's house and ask him to be my intercessor. I don't put any trust in our old man. If you're not careful, my dear man, you'll do our son real harm. I find it very strange that so foolish a notion could enter your mind, my dear husband. Will you persist in being a woman? Did I ever want anything in my whole life without your contradicting me in its strata? But I ask where I am in the wrong, or why you act this way. You don't know why you take so strong a stand against me, foolish one. I don't know why. Well, yes, you do know why. Let's not have the whole discussion once again. Oh, you're not reasonable to think that I'll keep still in a matter of this importance. I don't ask that. Say what you want, but still, I'll go ahead with it. You'll go ahead? I will. Don't you see how much trouble you create that way? He thinks he's a foundling. Foundling, you say? It's so, and will be so, my husband. Admit it, then. Oh, come now, I beg you. That's something for our enemies to say. That shall I say he's not my son when he is? You're not afraid, are you, that when you want, you can't prove he's your son? You mean because our daughter has been found? I don't mean that. I mean something that must win quick belief. The fact that he behaves the way you do. You'll prove he is your child quite easily. He's just like you. That's not a fault in him. That isn't matched in you. And furthermore, no one but you could have a son like that. Well, here he comes out now. Ah, how straight-faced he looks, so straight-laced. If you stop and think of what he's been up to for some time now. If there was any time in motherhood when I gave you pleasure was called your son, when both of you were willing to say so, I beg you to remember it. And now take pity on me in my time of need, I implore you. Show me my parents. Really, my son, you must think no such thought. You could not be another person's child. I am. Poor me. I suppose that this is what you were after. I assure you, you are the son born to me in this man, and please, if you love me, don't let me hear such talk from you again. And I tell you, if you fear me, don't let me see you acting the way you have been. What way? Well, if you want to know, I'll tell you. Indulging yourself in guzzling, idling, wasting good money on parties, food, and drink. Believe me now. Believe, then, that you can be our true son. Those aren't a parent's words. Had you been born from my forehead, like Minerva from Jove's, they say, I would not let you, Clitiphon, and any the more make me suffer disgrace because of your contemptible behavior. All the gods prevent it. I don't know about the gods. I only know what I will do, whatever I can to prevent it. You're looking for what you possess, parents, not looking for what you don't have as yet. A way to comply with your father's wishes and look after what his hard work has earned, to fool me and bring right before my eyes that. I'm ashamed to use so vile a word in this woman's presence, but you are not at all ashamed to go ahead and do it. Lord, how completely fed up with myself I am right now, and how ashamed I am. I don't know where to start to placate him. Surely Cremis is tormenting the boy too harshly, too inhumanly. So I am coming out to make peace between them. Oh, good, I see him there. Menedemus! Ah, why aren't you having my daughter called for and coming to agreement on the sum I offered for the dowry? My dear husband, I beg you don't do it. I ask forgiveness, Father. Forgive him, Cremis. Let yourself be won over by them. And consciously make a gift of my property to Bacchus. I won't do that. And we won't let you do it. If you want me to go on living, Father, forgive me. Do, dear Cremis. Come, Cremis. I beg you to. Don't be so obstinate. What to do now? I see I can't go on as I began. That's much more like yourself. I give in. Then, but on this one condition, he does what I think right for him to do. Command me, Father, I'll do anything. You'll take a wife. But, Father, I hear nothing. I'll vouch for him he'll do it. I hear nothing from him as yet. Done for. You hesitate, Clitiphon. No, let him choose for himself between the two. He'll see it all right through. At first, of course, it will seem hard to you while you're still unfamiliar with it all, but when you've gotten used to it, easy. All right, Father, I'll do as you command. Oh, my dear son, I know a charming girl for you. You'll find her very nice, the daughter of our neighbor Phanocrates. That redhead? The girl with the cat's eyes, the freckled face with the turned-up nose? I can't do that, Father. He's so choosy. You'd think he'd thought about it for some time. I know another. No, look, since I'm the one who's getting married, I know someone I might just like to have. That's more like it. Good work, my son. I mean, the daughter of our friend Anachronides and Archonides. She's a nice girl. But, Father, there's one thing. What is it? I wish you'd excuse Cyrus for what he did for me. All right, I'll let him off. All right, we'll let you off now because, you see, that's how it was. Do we hear your applause?